Hey guys, it's Liz here with another video for you, and today we're going to be talking about chunky glitters. So this is just going to be a basic how to work with chunky glitter video. I'm planning on doing more chunky glitter videos because I really enjoy working with chunky glitters. So this is just going to be very basic how I work with chunky glitter. So the two colors that I'm going to be working with are Say You Love Me from Sparkling Fusion and Falling in Love, which is also a Sparkling Fusion color. And I haven't done a video with this company in a while. I've been working with them pretty much since she started. And I really enjoy her product. She's a small company and she is an artist like myself. And I really love her chunky glitters. They are really easy to work with. I mean, all of her products are just really amazing. Her dips are really easy to work with. So make sure that you check her out. And if you do decide to buy something, make sure you use my code. It's 20 off Nailnerd. And you can get yourself 20% off of anything that you buy. So first I'm just putting 2 coats of this Say You Love Me color, and it is a beautiful color. It's kind of a sagey, succulent color. It's like a green that has like some blue-gray undertones, and I really love it. It's a beautiful color. Definitely a good color for the fall. So I'm just doing this like my normal dip process, and I do have a video for that. If you haven't seen that and you need some tips on how to do your dipping, make sure that you check that out. I will link that in the cards. So I am doing 4 of my nails with the Say You Love Me, and I'm going to do some glitter placement on 3 of those, and then I'm leaving my pinky just plain, and then I'm going to do a full dip with the chunky glitter on my ring finger, so you can see exactly how I would do that. And the process for doing it, like if I did it over the color, would be the same as if I as I'm showing you for this ring finger. So you can always do a glitter over the top of a color. You just might want to try to do just one dip of color, or make sure that you're not getting your coats of color too thick, because with the chunky glitter it's gonna get thick really quickly, and you're gonna need at least 2 coats of clear to encapsulate it. And I'll talk more about that at the end here, but just keep in mind while you're doing your color to keep it as thin as possible. Alright, so when I am working with chunky glitter, I always pour it out into a cupcake liner. You want something that you can lay your finger flat into. Now the reason for that is because you want as much of that glitter to stick to your nail as possible. So if you're laying it flat into there, it's going to make the glitter, well, the glitter is a lot flatter. If you put it into something where it can kind of spread out a little bit more. And then also your finger you can lay flat, so all of that flat glitter is going to stick flatly to your fingernail. It just makes it a little bit easier as well to dip into there flat. So now what you see me doing here is kind of trying to get some of those chunky glitters out of the way. And the reason that I do this is because I want as much of that finger covered in glitter as possible. So the chunky glitters are going to cover really quickly, but they're not going to stick on as well as some of the smaller glitter. And the smaller glitter is really going to be your filler glitter. So I want to fill it in as much as possible, and then I can always come back and place some of the chunky glitters where I want them to be. So then you're going to take a toothpick and run it around the outside of your nail. And this just makes sure that all that glitter is not sticking to your finger, and that'll make filing a lot easier later. And I'm using a very slow drying liquid. This is Virgo Gem, so it makes it a lot easier to do all of this and have enough time to really work. Then you want to make sure that you take a piece or a baggie, small baggie or a piece of baggie. I just cut up a baggie that was bigger because you just need a small piece just to kind of push all of that glitter down. And the reason that you use a glitter, the reason that you use the baggie is just so you don't get it on your fingers. You can use your fingers, but then it's possible that you're gonna get base and glitter all over your fingers. So that just helps keep that from happening. And then it, it does push it down a little bit flatter than what you can get with your finger. So now I'm going to do some placing of some glitters, and I decided that I wanted to do a pattern with this one. I didn't want it to be really random, so it's kind of gonna be like a cascading effect down my nail. The glitter's getting a little bit smaller as they progress, and it didn't really work out quite like I had planned. I thought this glitter had a lot of different sizes, but it really just had 3 different sizes, and I wanted like at least 4 different sizes. But I mean, it still worked out. It still looked, I thought it looked good. I don't know. Y'all can judge it how you want to, but I thought it looked pretty good. So anyway, so how I'm doing this, again, Virgo Gem, very slow drying liquids. So I have lots of time to work. I think iGel Beauty is another really slow drying, triple vitamin. Although they say a fast drying, they are probably like a medium drying. I still have enough time to work, I guess maybe because I'm a little bit faster now. And also Lavender violets, you can get that one pretty cheap off of Amazon. And those are the ones, I know there's more out there that are slow drying, but those are the ones that I've personally worked with, and I know that they give you plenty of time to work. So I'm kind of getting off track here, but so I'm also taking this toothpick and putting a little base on it so that it makes it a little bit easier to grab those glitters and kind of push them around like that. And just because you get a glitter and it dries on your finger, especially like if you're working on like a color, you can easily like just kind of flick that glitter off. I did it a few times with this mani. See that one? I'm like, I don't want you right there. So I do eventually kick that one off and place it where I want it to be. So we are almost done with placing these glitters. So I just wanted to say, if you have gotten anything out of this video so far, please make sure that you give it a like and subscribe to my channel. These simple things help support me and help me to continue to make videos like this for you guys. I do really enjoy making these videos, so please help support me so that I can continue to do this. So I do end up going back and kind of putting a little bit more on the tip of that nail because it didn't get covered quite as well as I would have liked, and then it didn't get the chunky glitters like I wanted. So I did end up kind of just placing a couple on there. So now we are encapsulating with clear. This is a very important step, especially with the chunky glitters, to make sure that you encapsulate it in a good clear. And this SuperNail clear, I will link that in the description for you. It is super clear and it is really inexpensive. You can buy it off of Amazon. And I mean, right now it's inexpensive. I got like 2 or 3 of them for like $4.50 a piece, which is, I mean, just ridiculously cheap. So if you're watching this, look it up and see if it's still on sale, and grab some while they still have it that cheap, because it is really good. It is really clear. So I did 2 dips, or I'm going to do 2 dips of this clear on that ring finger. Because this is a super chunky glitter, I want to make sure that when I'm filing and buffing, I don't file and buff any of those glitters off. So putting 2, especially because this clear is also very fine, so putting 2 coats of that clear over that chunky glitter will make sure that I don't file off any of those chunky glitters when I'm shaping my nail. So filing and buffing is pretty much the same. You just want to make sure that you're going a little bit slower while you're filing and buffing so that you don't accidentally file and buff off any of those chunky glitters. And if you do, you're just going to kind of file a little bit and then just check. Because if you do start filing off some of those glitters, then you might want to stop what you're doing and go ahead and put another coat of clear over the top of it. I do have another video that goes over all of my filing and buffing techniques. So if you want any more of that, then I will link that in the cards. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that you did see me kind of seasoning my files there, and that just makes it a lot easier to go around your cuticle area with the file without irritating your cuticles. And again, I go over that a little bit more in my filing video, but you're just kind of rubbing the edge of your file onto another file just to kind of get the grit right off of the edge there. And I did file off a couple of those glitters off of the tip there of my finger, but since it was the smaller glitters, I just ended up just putting a little bit of base on there and then putting a couple of those small glitters and just top coated over the top of it without putting a clear coat over it. Since they were small glitters, you don't notice it at all, that it wasn't encapsulated in clear. So now I'm just doing the top coat, and again, you're just doing this as normal. I do have a video for tips on that as well. But I mean, it's all just the same, just making sure that you are doing a quick coat for your first coat, and then that second one you can kind of make sure that you get it on there a lot nicer. Make sure that you cap your ends with the top coat, and there you go. We are all done with that manicure. I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully it helped you with working with those chunky glitters. If you have any questions, or if there's something that I forgot, left out, didn't mention, please make sure that you leave it below in the comments. If you haven't already, make sure that you like this video and subscribe to my channel so that you can see more videos from me. Thank you again so much for watching and supporting me, and I will see you next time.